Hey everybody, it's good time to play some Minecraft and get back into the Minecraft saga. Hope you guys have had a good few days. Still just a tad sick, but hopefully that does not affect things. So here we go. Doobity doop doop doobity doop doopity doop doop doop. Still don't have any sort of music for that, but that will hopefully change soon. So you get a little bit of the Minecraft music and a little bit of, everything. Okay, so, okay, making sure my sounds are all that right, because, so the last thing we were trying to do was get diamonds. And I like to kind of do that before I head back up. Do I have a, no, I don't have a full inventory. So, yeah, um, oh, crap, 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 crap. Here we go. Start the timer. So, yeah, I have had a good past few days. And I'm hoping that we'll get to stream on Thursday so I can do the other cool stuff that I want to show off. Because there's another series I want to start up, but I'm not positive I will be able to on Thursday. It all depends on where things land, and I will kind of see how the day plays out, and I'll leave a message on this channel. You guys are curious, if that does happen, I know I will not be doing D&D next Sunday, so instead we will probably do a live stream of this mystery show. So, but welcome back to the Minecraft saga. Saga of probably my misadventures until I die. If this is your first time joining us, this is a hardcore Minecraft series. So if I die, I am dead. So far, I have been alive for almost 2 hours. Um, and the thing I do want to mention for the people who are watching this on YouTube, because this is being recorded for YouTube while also being live streamed on Twitch. Those people who are going to be watching on YouTube, and actually I'm just real fast. That's not what I wanted. Music and sounds, just gonna drop music down a little bit so it's a little bit less annoying while I'm talking. But I'm gonna be splitting this up into 30-minute segments for them, and as soon as I hit kind of that 30-minute mark, for the people who are watching live, I'll cut off and kind of take a break for a few minutes. Not probably super long for like the first and third 30 minutes, but like on the hour mark, I'll probably take like a 5-minute break. Most likely at the like 30-minute mark, I'll probably just hit the stream down for a little bit and well, not the stream, but hit the stream down and then restart the recording. Actually, isn't that the place? That is. I'm never fond of gravel pits, but I always seem to run into them. I believe this is the only one that's got gravel. Nope, that one does too. Alright, but this one does not. Had a suspicion, sneaking suspicion that I need that. Okay. Wow, my luck with diamonds so far in this series is awful. Hmm. I guess we will make ourselves another pickaxe and keep going until I run out of pickaxes and everything else. At least, or until I run out of space. Once I run out of space, I'll probably just head back up to the surface. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, I should probably grab some more torches. Oh, yeah. No, plan is to get diamonds, and then debating on whether I want to get a house yet, or if I just want to kind of keep my outpost on Crescent Isle, is what I am currently calling the island that I have built my domicile on. Or where I'm planning to build it. It's more of a crafting table and a furnace at the moment with a chest. I'm not sure if I'd call that a domicile. But hopefully it shows that I'm feeling at least a little bit better than I did last time we were together, because I'm not so quiet, because I couldn't think of anything to talk about. And so it's just kind of, it's also been a while, and it takes a little bit to get back into the rhythm of like solo recording. The nice thing about friends and playing with friends is you can lean on them a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. Yep, cool. But in the series, I'm not gonna be able to do any of that. It's just me. Hopefully, the series that will end up on Thursdays will be a little bit easier to kind of keep conversation, just because there's going to be stuff to talk about, based on the way that I planned it. Where this is just kind of a me yammering for a few minutes, talking about stuff, whatever comes to mind, until we get done. My plan, the reason I'm going with 30-minute episodes for the YouTube crowd is so at this point I'm going to try that instead of trying to cut stuff out, because I know I talked a little bit about cutting stuff out, a little bit about a lot of different possibilities. But I don't want to cut stuff out because, you know, then I have to be questioning is what's important and taking a lot of time to edit these videos. Time, unfortunately, I don't really have. Whereas in this aspect, I can just kind of roll with it, and hopefully, as long within a 30-minute period I am active enough, it will be good content to watch. And I hope that you don't just come here to see cool stuff happen in Minecraft, because I'd hope that if you're an avid Minecraft watcher, you've kind of seen most of it at this point. Because, like, there've been people who've done series and series and series and series and series and series and series on this sort of stuff, where I'm just kind of coming late to the scene just because I like the game, it's something to do, and I can talk about lots of really, really fun stuff and kind of maybe talk a little bit about campaign and stuff that's happened. Mostly it'll be about stuff that's happened, not so much stuff to come, just because I want to be very careful about what I say, because I've kept the party in the dark for the most part on what's happening, what's going on, and which is super interesting because I was actually talking with Lauren just today about, uh, her character and some of the stuff that recently happened. Which, if you're just kind of tuning into this because it's Minecraft and you don't know what I'm talking about, me and a few friends, you can watch it on our YouTube channel if you're here in the stream. If you're someone who's kind of, which, one second, I would like to see something. Okay. But if you're someone just dropping into the stream and you kind of don't know, there's a YouTube channel. If you're on the YouTube channel, you can check the YouTube channel. Because there's some cool stuff that we post up there about, a Dungeons and Dragon game that we have played so far entirely on stream. I think the other thing I need to get first off is I need a bridge between these two places. That might be the first order of business. Which I'm probably going to chop down those trees if I want to do that. I'm just like emptying out my inventory so I can. I think the bridge sounds like a good thing since we're not getting anywhere on the front of finding diamonds, because diamonds are kind of going to be our first big advancement. If we're looking here, we've got iron. I don't want to go to the Nether until we have diamonds and we get diamond armor. Enchantment would be cool, but I'm not super worried about it at this point. Probably something I should also go look for today is reeds, sugarcane, because I don't have any. But as I was saying, being the DM in that game has been a lot of fun. But since we've done it entirely on stream, so you guys get to see everything that we've done. Every little mistake on my part, which either becomes canon or I think it's pretty much just become canon. If I make an ups, it's we're doing it live. No, not really any retconning has happened in the game, I don't think. It's been a little while. Thank you. Taking a second. I realized that I didn't stop the live counter, but that happens, and sometimes I will be playing with it not on. The life, how long I've been alive is kind of tentative in this series. It's around. I'd probably right now just say it's around 2 hours, which is true fact. But anyways, I'm so easily being sidetracked right now. Because I want to talk about the campaign because it's been some fun and it's been something that I haven't really had the time to talk about, because we're playing usually. So to be able to stand back and kind of retrospectively say, hey, it's been lots of fun. It's been a bit of a journey, and watching some of these characters grow or kind of show a little bit of their true colors, which is slightly problematic on my side because I'm like, okay, these characters need to be someone I'm a little bit more familiar with. It's kind of come to some problems with some of Edmund's actions have been borderlining not his alignment. Actually, to the point that his alignment isn't what it once was. Because he's not been playing really what I consider chaotic good. He's kind of fallen into the realm of neutral. but he's trying to claw his way back out of that situation. He just needs to be very careful with the way he does things, and that's part of the game. Is sometimes you take a moment and you realize you're not who you once were. One of those cool little life things that can be explored in the game. Um, but he's getting his character back on track and everything. But I wanted to talk about Lauren's character because Lauren's character's been super fun. That one was the character I had the biggest hand in his creation, because originally we weren't sure, because Lauren's a grad student, so how often she's gonna be able to come, so when she built a character, she wanted one that I'd be comfortable playing. Um, which ultimately came down to, okay, I wasn't super, like, if it came down to it, in my mind, I'd figure out some way to take the character out of the game. Just because I don't like playing other characters. Just because of the fact that what happens if those characters die, what happens, 1,000 things that could go wrong. And I realized, like, if they make the dice roll and it sucks and they get screwed because of that, yeah, it's dice roll. If I make the dice roll, though, I feel worse about it because I made that roll. That was ultimately, as it really doesn't, like, it's random. As random as anything is, it's still, it makes you feel bad. And with characters that each of these characters have at least pages of stuff that I had them write up prior to this game starting. I don't want to just go, well, and it was fun, but Arn died, Kane died, which Kane's also been a fun, interesting character to talk about in that respect, and I might talk about that a little bit. But Arn was interesting, and he's starting to show more right now because I even with beyond what Lauren knew, she started making this character, um, and note that this world, well, I've always had some amount of thought process of how this world would work because it is a world that I plan on building into a grander scheme of games. Aberranth being one of the set pieces, um, with parts of the plot probably going to be used in games, and with changes and stuff happening where I feel necessary, because video game and a like tabletop RPG are two different things. But I had originally thought about the fact that this world's going to be one where, because of events, mage hunters exist, and that was about as far as I took it. And then because I sat down and I talked with everyone about the world so they could make their characters, and I'm like, kind of just take where you will, but here's the basic outline of how the world is. And if you're going to play a magic user, we need to talk, because magic users are a little bit different in this game, and make sure that that's what you want to do. Which has been interesting because I honestly think in some ways um, the magic users are a little underpowered compared to probably what I'd like them to be. Um, but in the right circumstances, they are very powerful people. So that's again another thing to talk about. So, but Arn was interesting because Lauren kind of ran with this idea of mage hunters, and between her and I, she created a group that we dubbed the Black Watch. And well, these are a group of mage hunters, very organized. They hail from a kingdom, and they're that don't welcome them because they are feared and they treat magic in a very specific manner. And it's grown from what it originally was, because originally they were like exterminate. But I'm like, that doesn't really make sense. This world, magic is its lifeblood. Um, it's a high magic. Well, dark fantasy, it's not what I consider low magic universe. So magic is literally something very common. It's super common. Like, to know that someone has some extent of magical abilities is pretty common knowledge. Most people do, which is very interesting because Edmund has a very weird view on that. And I mentioned it to Cameron a couple times, and he's like, "But that's what he thinks." And I'm like, "Okay, something somewhere. He's a little weird because of it." But so but the Black Watch then went from this organization that exterminates. While they will exterminate mages, they're more out for control. Which two-headed coin, that can obviously be manipulated and things. But obviously, where I've taken the story so far, that's not been a super big plot point. The interesting thing is originally Lauren had wanted to call it the Blackguard, and I'm like, that's a really cool name, and we kind of got stuck on it for a little while, and I sat there for a little while thinking about it, and then a kind of different idea, and I'm not going to explain the full idea because it's not been fully told to the party, but obviously the Blackguard were brought up in the last game um, as this kind of precursor to the Watch, and it's not even really a precursor. Um, and they've been phrased as the old Guardians. And when I was talking with Lauren, she's like, kind of interesting that I took this group that almost has become fearmongers now, and I'm talking about a group that predates them. They're kind of predecessors that are, rather than fearmongers, protectors, guardians. And that's been a plan for quite some time with her character, and a lot of things that I've done with her character have been leading up to introducing this group. And some stuff that's going to go on beyond this in this adventure that will permeate through the world. This adventure is so important to what's happening and what is and what will be. So it's been fun, and I've super enjoyed that part of it. So yeah. Um, the next thing that is probably something that should have been addressed, and I kind of didn't, for reasons of personal reasons. Kat hasn't been able to play with us for quite some time, and because of that, her character kind of became this follower lackey, which, again, with my kind of distaste for playing player characters, again, not because I specifically hate being a player. I actually really like being a player. I'm just kind of picky about it, and it's not my character, is pretty much what it comes down to. So I don't want to screw with the character. Obviously, though, the way I pulled Kane out of the story has a lot of big implications on his personality and what's going to happen moving forward with him. Because he's kind of did a bad, or what could possibly be a bad, as they don't really quite understand what's all happened. But from the party's perspective, that's what's going on. So there's going to be consequences to those actions that I took on Kane's behalf, or had arcane take on Kat's behalf, but it was a conversation that we did have, and if she is able to come back, which is pretty much just been this has been a rough semester in school, so she didn't really have the time. So if her character does manage to come back, he'll have some choices to make and a lot of things that can happen, leaving it open that under the right circumstances, everything can play out relatively fine and okay. But those circumstances are going to be kind of difficult. So, and I know I've not like gotten a whole bunch done this episode for the YouTube crowd, but I'm waiting for daytime. Actually, is really what it comes down to. But it's pretty much daytime now, and I would like. Just because I kind of want these planks off the water. I think this is going to be the level of the bridge. And we're just going to kind of bridge it out. And I think that we might get the skeleton of this bridge done, and then we will prepare for next time. 30 minutes goes by really fast. And I just kind of want to see how this 30 minutes works for everybody. Whether they like it, whether they dislike it, you know, it's a choice to kind of split up the episodes this way, but I know that there are people out there that prefer pre-split stuff, so if you're one of those people and this is good for you, please let me know. Otherwise, it is kind of weird splitting it up more than at my natural stopping points. So, for the YouTube crowd, please let me know. For the Twitch crowd, I am sorry if this bothers you that I'm going to stop. Redo an intro and everything. I also think that kind of does make it a little bit nicer for Twitch people who come in the middle. There's some kind of nice stopping points that you can kind of jump in at. So, yep. I think that's nice basic bridge. So how I would like this to go, I would like it here, but underneath I would like, and I'm not going to pull out a crafting table, I'm just going to run to my other crafting table. And we're going to put these there. Just kind of giving a basic structure for this bridge that may or may not get fleshed out after this. I may wait a little bit and kind of give myself some time to work on this 12 stairs because I do want it to look, I like building pretty things, which I know is not necessarily always the case with Minecrafters. It's kind of like one of two camps. People who like building contraptions, which I love building contraptions. And then there's usually the people who like building pretty things. So you're going to probably see a bunch of both on this series, which will be weird, but you know, I'm a little weird. Okay. And I realize that these are kind of close to those, but in my mind, this makes sense. That because this is gonna go up, and I'm probably gonna have this roofed area because I like roofed bridges. This is nowhere near the largest bridge I have ever built in Minecraft. On the old old Hat Films server, if you know who Hat Films is. If you don't, please check them out. They're a really cool YouTubers. Part of the Yogscast now. I built a huge bridge that spanned, like, I want to say 50% of the map. Because it went, well, it wasn't probably 50. It was probably like a quarter because I built my base really super far away from everybody. But as I got playing and doing stuff with everyone, I wanted to be able to get back to one of the main towns rather than, trying to walk the entire way always. I decided what I was going to do was build this massive bridge. I'm kind of trying to decide if I want this here. I think I do. It kind of makes it seem like it supports the bridge, and we're going to have multiple supports here. But once I am done with this, we are going to have to, yeah, we got some supports. So yeah, I like building bridges. Bridges are fun. And with that, I will say to the YouTube crowd that it's been fun, lots of fun. But we will see you guys next time. And let me hope that this button does what I think it remembered does.